Welcome to Trash Talk. Get ready to ignite your spirits and dive into a world of lively conversations, laughter, and endless inspiration. This is the podcast that will make you feel alive and leave you craving for more. So buckle up and join us on this exhilarating journey where we unravel the ways behind waste management, where keen reality meets green solutions.
Welcome to the pilot episode for our podcast. My name is Carl Sebastian Tiling,
I'm Sandy Gabriel Siban Kiri.
and this is Trash Talk, where we, Voices for Change, address the waste in our society. So, Gab, what do you think is the very major problem around the world?
I think as I've observed in my surroundings, outside of my home, classroom, school, the one thing that I've observed the most is that the the trashes around us, the improper waste management is so rampant here in my community, which is where we at right now is at Valenzuela, and and globally there is 2.01 metric tons that we produce annually, and it is anticipated to be reached at maximum point of something 4 point something 4.01 metric tons of trash, and that is really alarming because do you think how that is so many, that's too much waste to handle by our government? And how about you, Carl? What
And
what
I
are your
think,
experiences
I think
so
in
far?
reality, I have observed that many trash around my surroundings. And in fact, here in the Philippines, it is boggling how much waste around when you just walk outside,
Yes.
when you just walk in front of your house, not even your trash, not even your surroundings, you'll see trash. And specifically, there's a study by Bernardo in 2008 that Philippines relied on the government for waste collection. And I think here in this area that we're shooting this right now, it has a waste collection management team in the government where they collect waste around houses, streets, barrios, and every Wednesdays and Thursdays, I think Wednesdays and Saturdays to be exact. And there's the study by Bernardo that states that an average of 3.2 kilograms of solid waste is produced by these households. They're not responsive. They are not responsible for waste segregation. They just collect trash. And that I think that is one of the major problems in schools also. There there are like many trash bins, but when you look inside the trash bin even further, there's no proper waste
It's all over
segregation.
the
Yeah,
place.
it's all over the place. Even when you walk in corridors, there's like candy wrappers, plastics of food, there's papers, crumpled papers, bottled waters, bottled drinks around every corner of the room, in every cylinder, every hallway, every corridor, and I think it's a major growing problem. Yeah, don't you agree?
And yes, but in order to solve this, we have to start within ourselves, within our community. So as a student, we have to start changing and solving this major problem in our society, in our school, since we are students and we have the power to change this, because our voice will serve as um, will serve as will serve as the thing to advocate and
Yeah, the rally.
rally to teach and encourage students and youth organizations to support the thing that we are advocating right now.
I think one one major school in the Philippines started a waste segregation technique. The school is Lyceum Philippines, LPU, Lyceum of the Philippines, University, LPU, they are advocating a, what we call this, a no segregate, no collect, where it's like the school don't collect trash bins, they don't collect the contents of the trash. The contents of the trash are not properly segregated. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's like biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Biodegradable is the
Nabubulok.
nabubulok in Tagalog. And I think it is a very nice practice indeed, but they don't. So yeah, they don't. They don't. Students don't understand this properly. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think a very good practice is where you have to segregate plastic bottles as well, because I think plastic bottles are a major cause of problem in schools, because students drink water, students drink soft drinks, and even bottled juice.
Yes.
And I think what we're advocating about is through the use of plastic bottles. It's like a major. So the no segregation, no collect, it has been taken upon by a lot of schools, because students are expected to segregate trash.
Yes.
But if we don't collect the contents of the trash, if it's not properly segregated, then it will not be a continuous practice in school. So I think it should be included.
Should be implemented.
It should be implemented, but additionally, we can also add another segregation technique where it's like we separate the plastic bottles. Just continue.
I think we can implement it, but we cannot implement it that too fast because we are just student and we don't have enough fund to fund that activity. I mean, to fund that what do we call that? The project, the no collection, no segregation, no collection. And yes, I think we can start by segregating plastic bottles. We can start by step by step, little by little, by segregating plastic bottles. Like, do you know this creative recycling project? It's been on my mind since lately, and I call it as creative recycling project, wherein students, when they have this plastic bottle, when they already used it, they will collect it and separate it in designated trash bin to.
Oh, let me get this straight. So I basically predicted what you're going to say, because I think what I said earlier. Okay, let me get this straight. I mean, I said this earlier, where it's like we should add the different trash bin for plastic bottles, right? So, from my observation, so it's like canteens majorly sell plastic bottles, right? And it has been majorly bought by students, because water is a very essential thing, very essential food in our body, and I think they don't know where to put the trash. You know what I mean? So it's the creative recycling project you're advocating about is a very nice approach, but if I may add a little bit more, we should be cooperative with the school's advisors.
Yes.
Yeah, and not only the school's advisors, but the respective class presidents as well.
Yes.
You know, because I personally think that presidents in the classroom are what leads as an example for the whole class. So I think starting with one specific sector of the group, which is the students, and we can transform this project into a bigger and better project for the school's future. Because, you know, did you know that there's recycling projects that involves plastic bottles as a flower pot? You know
yes,
that's
exactly.
yeah, you know that's that. I think that is where you're going, right?
Yeah.
That is where you're going, right? And I think 1.5 liter can do the trick of just one flower pot, and if you put that, it will be a major addition to the school's planting activities. It's not going to damage the reputation of the school. It's not going to damage the school's environment. In fact, it will only encourage students to be creative,
Creative, yes.
and they will garner their skills in segregating, right? Because
Yes.
plastic bottles, as I said earlier, I don't know if I'm being repetitive with this one, they are a continuing problem.
Like that, exactly. It is continuously happening. And with this project, yes, you're right. Um, it's not just that we are segregating plastic bottles. We are also enhancing creativity and, I must say, critical thinking, because you have to think you have to think how you will build that plastic bottle into useful item that you.
I think I have another idea. It's
Okay,
like
what's that?
flower pots is an example, right? But
Mm.
you can, from small mismo bottles, from our Coke mismo bottles, you can actually use it as a repurposed pencil holder.
Yes, pencil case.
Yeah, because as you said, creativity goes a long way, and it's not going to damage what you're doing. Except it's going to help because you are repurposing a reusable thing. You're repurposing a plastic bottle. Is that? I think it should be a major addition to the school's segregation technique, because as of right now, I see in schools, specifically schools. I've seen schools that their segregation bins are not properly segregated. Because I don't know, I'm going to repeat this once again. Plastic bottles seems to be a recurrent thing in canteens. It's going to be a major problem. So it's going to be nice.
And in our school, the trash bin is not enough to handle that massive amount of plastic bottle, because every day students were buying soft drinks, soda, water, and it's just all over the place, and it is not even properly put in a trash bin. And this project, I think it is nice because you are enhancing the 3 R's, which is reuse, reduce, and recycle.
Yes, and I think it's going to be a nice project for not only for us, because I'm going to participate. I'm going to encourage students to participate, but I think it's also going to be a project for teachers, because I think it is going to garner the teachers' leadership to help the students enhance their creativity with that kinds of things, because not only flower pots, pencil cases, pencil holders, bags, there's going to be a lot of things that you can do with plastic bottles. So
Yes.
it's going to be a nice project. Nothing, you have anything to add?
Yes. With this, can't you see that this project is just a small thing, but it has.
But when you look in the bigger picture,
Yes.
when you look in the bigger picture, it's just this very small thing.
Small,
It's like a
yes.
point. When you look at the bigger picture, when you enhance schools' creativity one by one, it will going to fit into a larger picture in which will help the environment as well.
It has a lot of benefits. In fact, when you are doing that, you will have a basic knowledge of waste reduction, and you will have a awareness and change of behavior, because you are encouraged to do so, to do that things, to recycle it and not just throw it anywhere you want. And I think this project must be implemented, and I want to use my voice to reach out the youth organizations or the SSG of our school to help us.
Yeah. And youth organization, it is going to be a very nice project for the youth as well, because creativity, waste segregation techniques, and from the school's advisors as well, for the admins in the school and supreme student government of the school. And I am a firm believer in this kinds of project, because as I'm hearing this right now, no buts or ifs, it is going to be a project in which someone creatively develops his own skills in order for a new product to come into fruition, right?
Wait. I just want to give props to SSG because they have this project, a ring catcher project that collect a plastic bottle and in an interactive way wherein students will
I
shoot
think-
the plastic bottle.
I think I saw that one too. They have a ring, like
Yes.
a basketball ring,
Basketball
type of,
ring.
yeah, basketball ring type of catcher, and then
And there's a
students
cage.
are encouraged to dunk the ball, which the ball is plastic bottles, which that is also a way to catch bottles, right?
Yes.
It's a nice continuation that
And-
it will be.
Yes, and that is one of the reason, one of the factor that I come up with this idea.
Yeah, because the students are creative in their
Yeah.
from our observation, right? The
Yes.
students are doing like 360 dunks, shooting it from the logo
Shooting.
like Curry.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's a nice project to continue from that specific, because you can sell the bottles, right? But what's even more helpful is that you reuse it. You can use it into a more creative project. In this case, the creative project in which Gab mentioned. Yeah, you can use it as a flower pot, as I mentioned earlier, pencil bags, pencil cases, pencil holders, and I think it's a very nice continuation, Kamiya.
And yes, and I must say that I hope that this project can be implemented and can be happen, and I hope that our school administration and youth organization in
Listen.
our school help
Actually
us.
listens.
I hope they listen to us.
Yeah, I think that's so too. And for the future plans, and I have a question. In 5 years from now, where do you see this project going?
5 years from now, I think students will be properly organized with the ways that they are having in their classroom, because right now in my own classroom, classroom is so messed. It was so nasty. The plastic bottles and back back part of my classroom is that's so full of plastic bottles.
And I see this in 5 years from now. I see this project going places. It's not just in one school. I see this project going in different schools as well, because I think schools, especially elementary schools,
Yes, I mean,
elementary schools can be a benefit to this type of project, because it will, in younger ages, there's like research where it's beneficial for younger students to garner their skills and creativity. And I think that is the future plans for your project right now. So if that's implemented, right?
if
Yeah, and as we're going to wrap up this episode, I'm going to summarize all of the things that Gab just said earlier. So this project is creative recycling technique, and you are encouraged to design bottles, reused bottles, by the way, and it's a continuation for ring catchers. So you can use the reused plastic bottles, 1.5 liter plastic bottles, and use it as a flower pot, pencil holders, and other types of products where it is reused, right? And that is basically the gist of what we talk about. And once again,
hey, as you heard us, guys, we are hoping that you can help us to implement this and help us to reach out the audience, the intended audience of this project.
and that's all, and that's basically it. The audience here, I hope you understand the lessons that we instilled. You understand the problem that we instilled into your minds, and I think with the data that presented earlier, it's a major problem. It's kilograms, I mean tons of waste. And I think you understand the problem in a bigger picture, not just a smaller picture. And once again, I'm Col Sebastian TV,
I'm Sandy Gabriel Sibandiri.
and this is Trash Talk.